Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to explain a little bit about the difference in these intercoolers for these r56s. This actually pertains to all vehicles, actually, but I'll give you some first-hand feedback on these different intercoolers and how they performed, what the difference is. This intercooler right here is just an eBay one. It's the most basic. It's like the $80 to $120 one. It is a stepped intercooler. It's super light. Like, it's probably 5 pounds, if that. This one is a pre-production Wagner. Comes out of the exact same factory, just no logos. Doesn't have these welded on there. I had that welded on, the tabs. And it doesn't come with that stupid black coating, which, by the way, you don't want that coating on intercoolers. It absolutely does affect their cooling. It just adds another barrier they got to break through. And you see this one is also stepped, but it has a smaller cores running through here as opposed to this one. And this one is a bar and plate core, where you see how well it flows through there. This intercooler was the best intercooler I ran for the stock turbo and anything under 15 psi. Anything over 15 psi, IATs will jet up to 160 on full throttle pulls. It can't handle all that extra CFM due to that type core. So if you're running more boost than that, you want the intercoolers with these type cores, which are a tube and fin, which is also what my Alta intercooler is. And I'll show you the difference between the Alta intercooler and this pre-production Wagner. I actually did buy a Wagner, and it was the exact same as this. Like I said, just with tabs and painted black. Literally the same exact. Now, there's the tube and fin, yeah, that's tube and fin. The other one is bar and plate. So you see how much better that one cools as opposed to those, but this one does have a it's more restricted because of its type core, and then its core is obviously much more dense. I'm not going to try to pick this one up one hand. This intercooler probably weighs 40, maybe 50 pounds. It's at least 10 times heavier than that intercooler, no bullshit. And then that brings us to the Alta intercooler, which is all around the best intercooler I've run, which is why it's back on my car. I'm running a hybrid KO4 turbo at 23 psi, so I was getting way too hot of IATs with that one. This is a decent intercooler, but I felt it was a little too restrictive. And you see the difference in the Alta. It's taller and wider than them all. It also doesn't have a stepped rear, so it's got much more even airflow, and it's got the same type core as these. So it's kind of a good in between of these two. And the Alta one and this Wagner style one, they can run ambient IATs when you're cruising, even in 80-degree weather. From a 0 to about 120 mile per hour full throttle, I would see IATs on 80-degree days with these intercoolers. They would only get up to maybe 100, 105. So there's about a 80-90 degree difference with full throttle pulls between those two intercoolers. And then, need I say, that first pull, you're already at 160 with that intercooler. So if you're on track and you're continuously full throttle, man, that could be deadly with that intercooler. But like I said, that's on extra boost. Stock boost levels, I think you'd be okay running that one all the time. And you'll definitely pick up power with that one because it's got such great flow. You just can't overwhelm your intercooler. And that's a big problem I noticed a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I'm just going to slap the biggest intercooler I can fit behind my bumper, and they call it a day. That's stupid. You got to try to size the intercooler and CFM to what your engine is pulling in. So you don't want to overdo it, because you're going to lose boost, you're going to lose flow, and you're going to lose horsepower and speed. Doesn't matter if it runs cooler. these cars have a threshold where they can get to a certain temp before they start pulling timing, which I think is 40 or 50 degrees above whatever ambient is. Or once they get into like 130s, 140s, they start pulling timing. So they're good. They're good. And then I also am running a cold air intake. I have it sealed into my firewall right there. So that actually helps a lot, and it pulls the cold air in from there. I also have a turbo blanket on my turbo. I have the heat shielding underneath that also. I also have my catless downpiped wrapped, and then I have the heat shielding and the wrap high temp silicone spray, which add another barrier to it. So this thing does run very, very efficiently. And I added a oil cooler also just to help things and pull the heat from outside of the engine bay pull the heat from inside the engine bay, because the stock oil cooler sits down underneath there, and I wanted to move it from out underneath the engine. That's why, once again, I didn't go overkill with that cooler, because I didn't want my oil temperature to stay too cool and not be able to boil off the condensation in the oil. So it's all about sizing the shit to your engine, guys. Bigger isn't always better. Unfortunately, that's something I've learned the hard way over these years, and have spent a lot of money trying things out to see what does what and how they perform on a vehicle, so I can have first-hand experience, not some YouTuber being like, oh, go bigger, go home. You know, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just like, oh, throw the biggest turbo on with the biggest throttle body and the biggest intake and intercooler. Nah, dude. Size the shit to what your engine is ingesting air-wise, and balance everything out. It's all about balance. So I'm going to finish buttoning this up here. As you see, it does sit at a little bit of an angle right here, but at least it doesn't pinch my hoses back there, so I just leave it as is. It still clears my bumper. It doesn't wobble around. Everything's good. So I'm going to slap this back together and finish up, guys. Stay safe. Motor on.